What's going on, y'all?
What's up, y'all?
Woo!
We about to film this podcast.
Where's the table? Can we bring the table back?
Of course we can, sweetie. Whatever you need to do. Make yourself happy.
I need to get over this sickness that I have. I don't know what is going on with me, y'all, but I am not feeling it today.
Yeah, she's been rough today.
All up in here, and I was nauseous.
She's in her head today. That's good. All right, y'all ready to kick this off?
No beverage.
Y'all ready? Here, you want some water?
No.
Okay.
I have my water cup over there.
Okay. All right, y'all ready?
No, let me grab my water cup.
Okay. It's all right. I enjoyed you getting up.
Then I'll be ready.
I enjoyed you getting up.
I need to hydrate.
That's right. Hydrate, girl.
Flush.
Because you thirsty, baby. Because you thirsty.
I have been thirsty in my life, Shop.
Thirsty for me, Shop. All right, y'all ready for this? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
What it do?
What up, peeps?
Man, welcome back to the Let's Make Out podcast, where we do all things what?
Wait, we make out
all things what?
Love, life, and laughter.
That's right. See, I was just so excited to say
You were very
that I messed it up.
I'm Gabrielle, one of your hosts, joined by my co-host and husband.
That's right, Chad, aka Babe.
Yep.
So, yes, this is I was just thinking about this today. This has been like, it's like over a couple years now. Like we're at the 2-year mark.
Are we at the 2-year mark?
We started the end of November, so this is like our second episode into 2 years of doing this.
What?
It's crazy.
How did we miss our 2-year anniversary?
We did. So happy anniversary to you,
Happy
sweetheart.
anniversary, Let's Make Out podcast listeners,
and
okay?
viewers.
And viewers. We appreciate all of you guys.
Do.
And if this is your first time listening or watching, we're actually married, have been for over 8 years now.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
So nice. So amazing.
We share a little piece of our life over on YouTube at Gabe Babe TV.
That's right.
And this is just an extension of that,
Yeah.
where we get to talk.
We just get to talk
Can
and
we
like.
just talk? Can we just talk? Hey.
See, I came in right there.
You did. I'm proud of you.
So,
yeah. So let's talk about the fact that it's December.
it is December.
And it is the last month in the entire decade.
It's crazy. That is the craziest thing ever.
That is crazy.
To think that when we were getting out of high school, it was the last year of that decade.
I was about to say, wait, we passed that decade, Sean.
Like,
That was 2000.
when that was the last of that, century, right?
Oh, well, yeah, it was. It was, yeah.
Like, so, and then, like, just to think of, like,
Yeah.
just, like, in our lifetime, all of the different
The different things that
are changing,
we've
like,
seen and experienced.
you know, everybody experiences those things.
Yeah.
Not the end of, like, a century, though, because
No, everybody doesn't get to
everybody doesn't get that.
see the end of the century, yeah.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. That's really crazy when you think about it. Maybe we should do a podcast about just the last decade and how life has changed for us.
Man, life is
over this last
different.
decade. Maybe we'll hold that closer to the end of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good one.
I think that'd be a good one. What do y'all think? On that note, we'll cue the music.
Yeah, we'll try to cue the music. Exactly. We'll try to cue the music here real quick.
Never ever happens.
Let's see. You know how it goes, Shotty.
Classic.
I mean,
I don't even know what is happening right now.
she never knows what's happening. She's be doing all this trash talking, but she don't know. Like I know. Boom. It's happening. It's happening.
That was lackluster. All right.
What up?
Thanks for not cutting the song off this time.
You're welcome, Shorty. I'm letting it fade out perfectly for
I
you.
know you are.
I adjusted
really
that quickly for you.
that.
You're welcome. I got you.
The last episode, you cut me short.
Well, I mean,
mad.
because we were in a new location.
Yes.
I was playing on my phone. It was jankety.
Speaking of, have you guys listened to the episode with Kevin and Melissa? If you haven't, y'all gotta
go check it out. It was so much
because
fun.
So much fun.
Such good people.
Yeah,
they've got an
a really
episode
good
as
time.
well. So make sure you check out the one with us on theirs, and then there's and then our previous episode with them, and a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Great people, man. So
they were like the perfect guest to be our first guest.
They were, because we just like the synergy. You can't. Sometimes you can't. You can't force synergy. You can't force that great compatibility. And so we literally sat down and started taping. That was it, and it just was a lot of fun. It just flowed. Kev is really, really serious all the time, so it's really tough. Kind of like me, so it is really tough.
You're right.
But yeah, so
all right,
you want to jump
into our question of the day?
I feel like it's your turn, sweetie.
Is it my turn? Okay. I will go with because I feel like I picked.
It's cool. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. I was really about to go.
Spend 30 minutes of when.
Let's do question number 82.
Dang, I tried to open up to where I thought you was going to pick, and I was way off.
You were off.
All right. You are offered $5 million to play a variant of Russian roulette. No. Before you are 10 pistols. Okay, that was weird. Before you are 10 pistols, one loaded. That was weird. The way they wrote that sentence. What? You must pick a pistol, point at your forehead, and pull the trigger. If you walk away, you do so a multi-millionaire. Would you take the shot?
Absolutely not. And if you answered yes to that, stop.
You greedy.
And start all over again. Like
it ain't
there is not a price that you could put.
You're an extreme gambler. Life. You are a daredevil and an extreme gambler if you answer that question yes.
I never understand people that actually play Russian roulette. Like
sober.
There are so many other things you can do if you need a rush or a high or adrenaline. Like there's so many other things that you could do. Life is too short. Period. So why would I ever want to take the chance and just willy-nilly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I'm sorry, there's not a price tag. There's not enough money in the world.
Not enough price tag
pick that up
on
and
my life.
Even take that chance. Absolutely not.
Like, you think about it. If you say yes to that, then you were saying that your life is worth $5 million.
No.
And that's it.
No. My life worth way more than
because
that.
Because if that bullet come out, guess
it's
what?
A wrap.
You don't get $5 million. Nobody gets the $5 million.
No.
And everybody that loved you is without you.
Man, please, if you ever find yourself in the position where somebody is playing Russian roulette or you think about playing Russian roulette, just please don't.
If you feel danger when you're about to play roulette in Vegas, step away, okay? Like if you see that table turning.
Like that question. That just made me so mad.
Yeah,
there are people that really do that though. Do you remember that couple that did that on like a YouTube video or something? And like, it was a book. He was holding on to a book, and it was like a prank, and she was going to shoot the book, but apparently she didn't think that a bullet would go through the book, and she ended up killing him. Do you guys remember that story?
That was some YouTubers, yeah.
It was some YouTubers. Yeah, that was like a few years ago. I'm sorry.
I think it was on camera because it was like a prank on the channel.
I'm so sorry.
Or something.
Yeah, they did.
I could be wrong, but I feel like
you're right.
It was for views.
There was actually footage of it. It wasn't like live, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, like guns are not toys.
Guns are not toys.
Man, I don't.
We could spend the whole episode on that.
Okay, that question just made me mad. Did that question make y'all mad? Because it really just made me mad.
That's crazy.
Like, why is that even a question? No.
Don't worry, girl. I'll cool you off after the episode.
Here you go.
Just throwing cold water on you. That's all I say.
Don't throw cold water on me, okay? I don't want it.
Don't want it.
Don't throw water on me, period.
Man, so...
Well, I feel like that was a downer.
Thanks for listening.
I'm still pissed off. Meanwhile.
We're going to go into extreme prayer for all the rouletters out there.
Gosh, that's crazy.
That's craziness.
Anyway.
Yeah. Moving on.
What is this episode about? I don't really know.
So,
I think
we're just kind of willy nilly making it happen. No, well, Gabrielle's not feeling the greatest, so so definitely kudos to her for still making this happen. And
podcast is more of like an active consistency.
Hopefully, you all appreciate her. This is like her flu game. Like Jordan. When he had the flu game and he scored like 31. So, like, this is like your flu game. So
we rebuked that because I'm not.
No, you don't have the flu. This is just like your flu podcast. You just powering through.
You can't just say Sick podcast. I don't even want to claim the flu. Let's not even use that word. Don't use the F word. Speaking of the F word, our son.
He is so smart.
We were watching TV or something. I honestly don't remember what we were doing.
What were we doing?
And I said something, and he was like, "Oh no!" He said something. He was like, "Oops, I almost said the F word."
What? I wasn't home.
I'm sorry. You almost said the what word? We were in his room doing something, and he hit something or something, and I was like, "What is the F word? Do you know what the F word is?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "I'm not supposed to say it." I said, "You can say it this one time so I can know if you know what the F word is." And maybe this was like the kid F word or something. Y'all, he said the freaking word. I was
to his but you know what? But
I was like, "Why do you know that?"
But then he asked, like, so what? I know where, because you remember. I remember when he told us that the kid in camp.
It was summer camp, yes.
And a kid said the word and just kept saying the word. He kept saying this kid would say bad words all day. You know, it was a kid his age, like in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like you know, so he had said that this kid's saying a lot of bad words and gets in trouble about it. He had told us about that. And
I think I had forgotten.
And we just
that was a couple summers ago.
It was. He was going into kindergarten.
Going into kindergarten. Yeah, it was like before he
started kindergarten. Well, this kid could have been. I think this kid was a little bit older than him, so he could have been like a first, second grader. But
I can't. I was just like, well, you know we don't say that word, right? He's like, yes. Oh, yeah. He was like, no, we don't say those words. We don't say bad words. But it just had me thinking, like, man, he knows these words. Like, he knows. Like, if I slip up and I might say shit or something, and he'll be like, don't say that. How do you know that that's a bad word, first of all? Like, do you ever wonder, like, how do we know that these words are bad?
That's a whole nother podcast we talk about, too.
It is. It's just so interesting. Like, but I started cursing. Why did I say cursing?
Cursing.
I started cussing earlier in life because I had a friend that was a really bad influence. Like my best friend in like 3rd grade, she used to cuss. And
my best friend in church daycare. She was so just man. She said every word.
Yeah, so I started cussing early, and like I never heard it at home. My mom she don't cuss, so you know what I'm saying. Like it just wasn't.
My father cussed a lot.
Yeah.
Like
did you cuss when you were younger?
I cussed outside the house.
Yeah.
Because I was just an angry kid, so I think.
Well, I wasn't an angry kid. I just liked to use cuss.
Yeah, but I mean, but it was never like, it's not crazy. Even when I got angry, I wasn't cussing then. It was really just about like hanging around with
because it's the cool thing.
Hanging with the homies.
Feel like we
would throw out a cuss word here and there, just talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Or obviously with rap songs, obviously all, I mean, everybody we listened to was,
explicit.
It was full of explicit words. So of course you rapping with that, doing all that. So you don't think much of it. But yeah, I mean, but that was very strong in my house. Like Dad was every other word almost was a curse word with him.
Really? I didn't know that.
So
when he was angry or just normal? Like he was just
when he was angry, but yeah, it pretty much was just part of his vocabulary.
Really?
Yeah, he just. So when you met Dad, he was a completely different person.
Yeah, I didn't meet him. I don't know the dad of your younger years.
You don't know that dad. So he changed his life around. But yeah, so I grew up with it, quite a bit. But
that's so interesting.
But it's another choice I made that I said I didn't want to be like
that with your children.
Like that with my kids or like that in general. Mm-hmm. And so I think I've done a pretty decent job of not being somebody out here just throwing out the F-bomb just for fun.
Just for fun. I think that's something we've both gotten better at. Because we, like in previous years, we cussed a lot more than what we do now. I'm not saying that we're perfect. We still cuss now.
No, we still cuss now, but like...
We used to do it a lot more then.
It was more just like, it just happens. Subconsciously just kind of come out.
Yeah. But we definitely don't as more. But it's interesting when you were talking about the music. Like, that's something that I've thought about, like, in terms of music. Because we make sure that we play the edited version of things with our kids. And there are so many people that don't do that. And I think it took me watching somebody on Instagram stories or something, and they was like, you know, rapping to the song, and their kid was in the back, and it was just cussing and stuff, and I'm like, oh, people really do that. Like,
oh yeah, no.
And I think that they even explained, they were like, you know, yes, I play the full version with my kids because they hear curse words. It's not like they're not going to hear them, but they know that they're not allowed to say them. So that's interesting. What is your take on that? Like, you know, because as kids get older,
you know,
does that change, or is that something that you always?
Here's my thing with that. I mean, that's. I mean, yeah, to each his own. Each parent.
Yeah. This is nothing against if you let your kids cuss.
Long as you love your kids and you take care of them and do what you're supposed to do as a parent, do you?
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm
not judging. So, but for me personally, I feel like
I personally.
Exactly. You know, I'm gonna try to get through this expeditiously. I
don't think that we should just make this the topic.
Oh yeah, it could be, but I think you know, for me, like, yes, our kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna experience everything we would love to shield them from, right? Well, so meaning if we along the way we teach them about these things, you know, when the time is right. And that just comes with some prayer and some asking God when the time is right for certain things. Then we can hopefully better prepare them for the future, right? For what they're gonna, so that way they're not smacked in the face with something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, yes, you could say, well, they're gonna hear it anyways. Well, yeah, they are, but that doesn't mean
that we have to be the one that introduce it to
that
them.
Just continually introduces it to them and throws it in their face, and you gonna hear this regardless if you want to or not. You know, so like for us personally, it's like, you know, for me, if I can play an edited version of something,
why not?
I'm gonna play the edited version. Like the song is still hitting. It's still a good song. Like the added vulgar words doesn't make it a better song, in my opinion, at least.
No.
Like the melody and the beat and the rhythm.
I mean, I feel like there are some songs that the edited version doesn't really do it any justice. But it's always gonna be some of those songs.
Exactly. There's exceptions.
There are exceptions.
But at the same time, like those certain songs are probably ones we're not gonna play around our 7-year-old and our 2-year-old.
Absolutely not. Those are not the ones.
You know, so
we're not about to be bumping.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
To the window. I mean, you know, like it's just not the song we're gonna play.
Yeah, we're definitely not doing that. But that's a good point though. Like,
to each his own. Again, you know,
to each his own. Do you guys like? How did you grow up? Like, for one, well, I feel like when us growing up, I don't feel like songs were as vulgar, so it wasn't a whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
You listen to Pac albums back then, because obviously Pac was.
No, but I'm talking about when we were younger.
I'm saying when I was growing up. You know, Pac, Bone, Biggie. Those were like.
No, I mean the music that our parents were listening to. I don't feel like there was so much to clean up. Like, I don't feel like it was as explicit. You know what I'm saying?
Because hip hop wasn't like. Yeah. Our parents are into like, you know, like.
My mom was listening to,
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Like, they wasn't cussing. They wasn't doing all of that. So it's interesting now, like with the change of times, like how
hip hop, it's
how to handle that.
It's a major part of the culture, right? You know, and so. And part of that culture, is a lot of times there's profanity. It's just kind of what it is, right? So you're right.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I remember stories. I told you this about when Mom. She would always, buy me like when East 1999 came out. Bone Thugs and Harmony. When that album came out, when Machiavelli came out.
She bought them.
She bought them for me from Target because Target always had the newest albums for like $10.99.
Yes.
DVD, the discs, right?
Yes, that's so funny.
And even before that, just like a regular cassette tape, and we would listen to it in the car. And my mom, y'all have, if you know anything about Gay Baby TV, you've seen my mom, and she's so sweet and calm. Mm-hmm. She's always been that way. So when the cuss word come on, like first few times they came on, like she would just look over at me. She's like, "Man, it's a little vulgar." And I'm like, "Oh, it's cool, Mom. It's good. I don't talk like that. Whatever." Yeah. I was like, "Besides, I hear worse at home with Dad." She's like, "Well, I guess you're right." And eventually, she's like, "I really like this Machiavelli." And I'm like, Tupac? She's like, yeah, well, why is it called Machiavelli? I'm like, Dad, we can talk about that.
That's hilarious.
Or that she's like, Bone Harmony's really good.
Bone Harmony.
Yeah, Thug and Bones. She used to say Thug and Bones and Bone Harmony. Like, she could never get it right.
Not Thug and Bones, though. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah,
Shout out to Mom. That's
yeah, exactly. So she was always really supportive of, like, you know, of, like,
she would just
not being, not you know, cussing or anything like that, but she was, you know, supportive of, you know, what I liked as a kid.
Supportive.
You know,
that's so interesting.
But
you weren't really. I mean, these were your teenage years.
Teenage years,
yes,
exactly.
Yes, that's different from, like, you know, a 6-year-old.
Exactly. But when I was 6, you know, like, think about.
Yeah, I was listening to Elvis. I'm sure. Because then you say your mom loved Elvis.
She loved Elvis. So Elvis was like in the house like all day long. But you know, that gave me like a love for music too, though, because Elvis, you know, Elvis got hits.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's interesting because I think about that too. When I was 6, you know, that age, like again, music is the love of, not the love of music, but like the use of music.
Yeah.
It's so much more accessible now. Like you think about before, like I remember Mom putting, you know, she'd have to put a record on the record player.
Absolutely.
So like if we weren't playing that, or we weren't listening to a radio station, I wasn't hearing music.
You weren't hearing.
Whereas now we just turn on,
you know, like everywhere.
Hook Bluetooth up and we can listen to whatever we want.
Whenever we want,
so
wherever.
Music is so much more prevalent in like.
But I mean, I think that it depends on the household.
True.
I mean, my mom was always playing music.
Exactly.
Always. You know, whatever the medium was, whether it was an album, whether it was a cassette tape, whatever it was, the DVDs, the CDs. Like, I mean, we were always
exactly. So
music.
It's just
it's
so interesting.
Interesting.
How was your mom when it comes to cussing?
Oh no, she wasn't having that.
I knew that answer, but
you know, she wasn't having that. But you know what the funniest thing is? My mom bought me my very first like rap CD, and it was All Eyes on Me, the very first one, and I was like a junior. Was I junior in high school?
And tell Pete's her favorite song.
To this day, my mom's favorite song on this album is "How Do You Want It?" Like, but the funniest thing is, she had no idea how vulgar it was when she bought it. Like, even though it had the little parental warning on it, I started playing it, and she was like, "Oh, wait!" I was like, "Ma, I mean, it's Tupac. Like, what were you expecting?"
I mean, let alone like not
She's
even.
Like, I just knew you liked
so
Tupac.
Funny.
You know, I used to have a crush on him back in the day. Who did have a crush on Tupac? You know what I'm saying? Poetic Justice was my favorite movie. Like, I was all Tupac everything.
Yeah, Tupac was the man.
But yeah, so she just was like, "Oh yeah, I bought the album for you." She had no idea. It was my first like rap CD.
That's so funny.
Like ever.
And it's so funny that was her favorite song.
Yeah.
Because that happened to be the most vulgar song on there. But then there was even a explicit music video.
Yes. But she look, honey, you play that on, she gonna get up
still
and dance.
Today
okay?
too. Put it on there.
That song. I think that I did have a hip hop CD before that. I think Hardcore, Lil' Kim. I snuck and listened to that and learned like the entire.
That's fun.
From front to back. Like I learned the entire thing. Wow. Do you remember did you used to do that as a kid, or was I the only one? Like when I got when an album came out, I would listen to it religiously. Until I knew it.
I grabbed my Discman.
Like, yeah.
All day.
It wouldn't go off a rotation until I knew all the words, everything,
like
all
the
the ad-libs.
Music didn't get tired. Like the CD did not get tiring. Like you just literally
could listen to it over and over and over and over again.
I think for me it was like an escape though.
Yeah.
Because for me as a kid, like we bounced around so much. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, like we lived in temporary housing all the time, stuff like that. So for me it was just like an escape.
Yeah.
You know, like the music was just like an escape. You know what I'm saying? I think that's that way it is for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, but it gives you a chance to kind of just.
It does.
You throw those headphones on and you just kind of in your own world, man.
Yeah. Man, I love music.
Plus, it's crazy, but it's crazy though, because how many of these songs from 20 years ago do we remember every single word?
Oh.
It comes on today.
Oh yeah, you can't tell me nothing.
Every word.
Every single word. It's crazy how the mind remembers these things. You're like, why do I remember the
Ask me to remember how to compute pi. I'm like, I don't know.
Ask me what I wore last Wednesday, and I couldn't tell you unless I looked at the vlog. Like, what did I wear?
But hit them up, come on. We are like, yeah.
I know every single word.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's just crazy how our brain works.
It's so funny.
That is really crazy. So it's always been like my, just like I guess so happy and excited when I see our kids listening to music and
dancing
loving
and singing.
music
Oh my
and
goodness.
dancing and singing.
Love
and
it.
like, we legit have children that love music. They appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like when Siege went through his Michael Jackson phase, I was so elated. Like, oh my goodness, you love Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like childhood for me. So yeah, music is so important.
And then Reagan, like when she hears a certain song, especially the Moana song.
Now she really likes.
There's that one Moana song. She sings like and belts it out.
She's legit singing. I'm like, come on, girl, your mama's little song.
I think both of them are gonna be good singers.
I think so too.
Because Chad really be singing too. When he finds a song he really likes, he gets that.
He gets in
that voice. He's singing. I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
Because that's such a big part of Gabrielle. Mm-hmm. You know, singing. Yeah. You know, and I can sing in the shower. You know, I'm really good in the shower.
Everybody is good.
Your boy be banging, okay? So you know, it's just really cool to see because it's just part of our family, regardless.
Yeah,
you know?
it is. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so we need to switch out the camera because it's flashing.
Oh yeah.
And our freaking camera
charger stopped working. So we're going to switch to our vlogging camera.
Yeah, the quality may look a little different, but
be back in a sec.
Okay, so we're back. I don't remember where we were talking about.
We got it all switched out though.
Just still talking about music, but yeah, I would be curious to know, any parents out there, do you listen to the edited version around your children or not, and your reasoning? And then if you don't have any kids, like what did your parents do? Or like what did you do?
Yeah, I would love to hear
when you were growing up. Yeah, because I feel like my mom was very strict. So there were a lot of things that kids were doing that I was not allowed to do just because she was very strict. Like I couldn't talk on phone to boys until I was like well into high school.
Good. Okay.
She
was saving you for me, okay? Thanks, Mom.
I used to be so crushed. Like they could not. You better not bring my phone trying to talk to me.
That's
okay,
so funny.
It was a situation, and I often wonder if I'm going to do that with Reagan and Siege. Like I want to try really hard to not have a double standard.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna be. I don't know what we're gonna do.
I don't either.
Until it happens. But I think it's something that we're gonna learn from our past, and then come to communicate with our kids.
Yeah.
What's acceptable and what's not, right?
Okay, so do you ever think that there will be a time where it will be okay for Chad to listen to the explicit version of whatever? Or if we're like watching TV and, they might be cussing on the show. Like, I mean, we don't know when this stuff is going to be. Some stuff we know is just.
We know we can't watch Power in front of the kids.
Absolutely not. This is too much sex in there for me. Like, I'm more concerned with sex than anything else. But
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, there are really good movies out there that do have, vulgar language, some adult type situations.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it is part of life, right? If we're watching a movie as a family, now he's not gonna be out here just watching this stuff. Like he's not gonna say, "Hey, Dad, I'm 8 now. I'm gonna go up to the room and I'm gonna watch, and name a movie that's like, okay, bro, it's ready to go. You're not doing that. But if we're watching as a family and and we feel like it, what, as long as he's with us, I mean, it's our decision, right?
Yeah, it is.
But then there's gonna be times too when he gets older and he's hanging with his friends, if he plays sports with his friends or whatever, like they're gonna listen to music.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna listen to music. I'm not gonna be like, Chad, you can't be, sitting in the car with your friend Mike because he listens to that vulgar language. Like, I
don't know. It's so weird though. Like I mean, if you're in your friend's car.
I mean, come on.
You're not about to be playing it. If I'm not playing it, you're not about to be playing it in my house. Like, if we won't even play the stuff that's explicit, like.
I mean, but if it's in his friend's car or in his friend's.
Well, I mean, I can't control that.
Exactly. Like, we just have to make sure that they're educated.
Yeah.
And they understand what's acceptable to us. Mm-hmm. So even though you listen to it or you hear these words, that doesn't mean that you can roll around here. If we hear you say it,
it's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem whether we hear it or not. You just don't need to be saying it.
Exactly. But if we do hear it, it's going to be a problem. Yeah. So we just have to teach them to be responsible and to follow the rules that we've laid out. Yeah. That's all we can do. We can't police other kids. We have to police our own and make sure that they're doing they're following the rules that we've set as their parents.
That's true. It's crazy, this whole parenting thing. It's so many things to think about.
You have to figure it out on the way.
Like, you literally have to just...
There's no book.
figure it out. Like,
There's
there's
no,
no
like-
book, there's no, I mean, like, and we had a really, like, eye-opening conversation with Siege the other day about, you know, the holiday, and I don't know who's watching, so I'm not going to say, because I don't want to give any, you know, spoilers.
No, it was a big
we had that
conversation.
conversation, and, yeah, it was crazy. I'm sure if you're a parent, you know, but if you're kids
You know what
are
we're
listening,
referring to.
yeah, I'm not going to say it. But, yeah, St. Nick. So,
So I'm like, come over here, girl. Why you?
am I so far away?
Why you so far away?
I've been this far away this whole
No,
time.
you hadn't. And there you
I
go,
think it just
girl.
looks different on the
Over
different
here, girl.
camera. Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, the parenting thing is funny. So I am curious to see like how we'll handle things as they get older and
me
like
too.
you know what I'm saying, because you can say what you're gonna do in all of these situations, but you never really know
just
until
never
you get
know.
in them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
it's gonna be a learning experience because
It
we've
is definitely
never
gonna
had a 7-year-old.
I mean, every day is learning.
Like every day, so we've never had a teenager. Like we're gonna learn this with a boy, and then we've got to relearn it with a girl
I know, because it's gonna be different.
because she's already different.
So
Um,
different. That's a whole nother.
But that's a part of the amazing journey that we're like thankful for, that we get to do it.
Yeah.
And we get to
Yeah,
do it. We get to do it
it's
together.
exciting.
Like that's the coolest part. So
Yeah, so we'd love to hear your thoughts. This was just a short little episode, just to say hey, stay consistent, keep putting them suggestions down. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about.
every thankful Thursday, shout out to Mama.
You're so silly. Thankful Thursday.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't have anything else to say.
no, that's it.
I feel like this was a ramble episode.
So make sure you, so if you don't mind, we'd love for you to go over to, if you listen to this on iTunes, please rate us, leave a review. We love to see that, and we just appreciate you. It helps us get, placed in the kids and family area, and make sure that we're being able to be heard
Yeah,
by
it
not
helps
only
other
you,
people
but
see us. Yeah.
by other people that might need something that we're talking about. So, and then on social, you got Let's Make Out Pod on Twitter, and everything else. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook is Let's Make Out Podcast. Jinx, Gabrielle. And we appreciate you. You can also go to our website, GabeBabeTV.com. It's still under maintenance. But you can go over there and check out all things Gabe and Babe.
Yep. Oh,
And,
Be Fearless shirt is out. I mean, it's been out for years.
Be
but
linked below in the
if
show
you've
notes.
Never gotten your hands on the sweater, then get it. It's my favorite quote, or my favorite scripture ever, 2 Timothy. So yeah,
Pretty dope
guys,
sweater.
I know it's my favorite. I love it. But yeah, that's it.
That's
Hopefully
it.
y'all have a good day, and
Talk to you later.
later.
Deuces.
Woohoo!
All right, y'all.
Finished.
Hopefully you enjoyed. We can't wait to hear your feedback or read your feedback. And
Yeah, we can't wait to hear it.
yeah, and talk to you next time.
Okay, guys.
Deuces.